This is a fully functional redstone computer in Minecraft. Yeah, and it's pretty complicated. But not only is it my goal to figure out how this calculator works, but I want to build my own and find my enemy's secret base using it. And you may be asking how I'm going to find my enemy's base. Well, the answer is math. Yeah, well, that's pretty obvious considering that's what calculators do. But alright, so I'm in the server. It leaves to say I have never built anything like this ever before. So I'm going to do what I always do. Have someone on the internet solve the problems for me. And on the internet, I found a book by a guy named George Boole, who's an old dead British guy who wrote stuff about ones and zeros that we now use on computers. And obviously, I read his book, and to be honest, it sucked. And I've read a lot of books written by old dead dudes, and this gotta be one of the boringest ones I found. But after reading it, it was finally time to actually do something. But after this, I went into the game and realized that I had no idea what I was doing. The reason was because I studied real life skills. I should have been studying Minecraft skills. So I looked up how to build a computer in Minecraft, and I found this channel called Matt Bat Wings. Now, I knew how most of the math of a computer would work, but I don't know how to build it in Minecraft. Alright, so basically I watched the videos and I found all these logic gates right here, and basically these are the components that we're going to be putting in the computer. And with the design of the logic gates, I can make my first half add. If I put in 1 plus 0, it equals 1. If I put in 1 plus 1, it equals 1 plus a carry. After this, I was able to build my first full adder, a counter using T flip-flops, and I tried to work on a CCA, but gave up halfway through. But I found out that I didn't have to build it on my own because people have already perfected these designs. You see, this is a full adder that I built before. It was really big, and this is 4 of them chained together to make a 4-bit adder. Now this adder is great, but there is a problem with it. Every time you input stuff, it has to go over and over and over all these lines, adding more and more delay. Now, if we're gonna make a big calculator out of this would not be ideal because we don't want 100 years of calculations going through our computer. So over here is a cancel carry adder, which you can add any numbers and it will take roughly the same amount of time for them to add together. How does it work? I have no idea, but everybody uses it, so I'm gonna use it too. Now, with these designs, I can add all I want, but there is a problem here. I don't know how to do anything else. So I'm gonna need to be able to divide, to multiply, to minus, all that crap, and this just adds numbers. It doesn't do anything else. Now, I'm gonna start with subtraction. You may think to subtract, you just assign each number a negative variant, but that would double the size of our adders and is not very efficient. Instead, I'm gonna use the adder to subtract. Now, this might sound a little bit weird, but there's something called modular arithmetic, and it's a fancy name, but it's very simple. Now, let's say I'm trying to minus 2 numbers, but I can't minus or do anything else, but I have an imaginary line I can place at any point that will cut off the number. Let's say I want to do 60 minus 40. I add 80, and then I put the line here, and basically now I have 20. And this isn't a perfect example because we're working in the decimal system here, but in binary, it works even better than it does in the decimal system. And to write down where you're going to put the line, you just say mod and then the number where you put the line down. I probably butchered this explanation, but trust me guys, it works. So now we can get to actually dividing and multiplying, and basically we're used to multiplying and dividing in the decimal system where each place is 10 times the last. So we have the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, but in binary it doesn't work like this. In binary, you have the ones place, the twos place, the fours place, and so on and so on. In order to multiply and divide, all we have to do is just shift these numbers over a bit. So if we have 5 right here, if we shift it over, we get 10. And if we shift it backwards, we get 5 again. Now, this also works in a decimal system, but you're timesing by 10 instead of 2. So now all we have to do is build, or rather steal a design for something called a shift register, which is going to shift these numbers over and basically multiply and divide for us. After this, I did something boring but very important. I added invert lines for both A and B, which basically are 2 inputs, the 2 numbers that we're going to be adding. And I also added every single logic gate except for not onto our machine. And now we're done with one part of the computer. We still have more to build. In fact, we're not even like 10% done, but what I just did was I made a component called an ALU, also known as a arithmetic logic unit. But you know, computers do other things despite math. Like obviously you're watching this on a screen, so a computer has to have a display. And for example, you might download something and store store it on your computer, so your computer needs memory. But to figure out what our computer needs, we need to actually figure out what our computer is gonna do. Basically, all I'm gonna do is do math, but I need the functions sin, cos, and tan, so I'm probably gonna hard code those in using memory. And there's multiple ways of doing this. For one, you can just make a massive line of torches or repeater locks or barrels or whatever you want to do, but that would be read-only memory, also known as ROM. What we want is memory that we can write to and also read from, also known as a register file. Now let's say we have 16 registers, and each of these registers can hold a 8-bit number. Now let's say we want to write the number 4 to register 0. We can write the number 4 to register 0. Now if we want to read a register, all we have to do is select that register and press the read function, and then we get 4. But what if I want to read multiple registers at the same time? I need a dual read register. Now there's multiple ways of doing this. One is a complex way using a bunch of wires, and there's another way called faking it. I can make 2 register files and link them together and make sure that each register with the same number are always matching. Then when I want to read from one, I can read from register 2 on either side, and I can also read from register 2 and register 3 at the same time, for example. And now we want to actually write programs onto this register file, and that's going to be pretty hard to actually do with just ones and zeros. So we're going to make something called an assembly language. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign a number to each function on the computer. For example, addition is going to have the number 1, subtraction will have the number 2. This is not actually how it is, but that's just an example. And then let's say we want to add register 1 and register 2 and write it to register 3. What we're going to do is we're going to set a number for register 1, a number for register 2, and then we're going to have the add function, which we're going to add that, and then we're going to put it into register 3, which is going to be another number. It's more complicated than this, but shh. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a control ROM, which is going to store all the information that we're going to use for the assembly language and send it over to the machines. Then finally, we're going to take the output from the register files and we're going to display it on a screen, also known as a 7-segment display, using a BCD converter or whatever it's called. I kind of forgot the name. And I was going to make it more fancy and easier to use and add other stuff like a call stack and a PC or like some other crap, but I didn't because that takes a lot of time, and in reality, this is a lot more complicated than I'm making it sound here. But now all I have to do is code in the functions to my computer. So how about we start with sine, cos, and tan. So I just went on the Wikipedia page. I found out that I'm kind of cooked. So basically, I've made this computer entirely in boolean algebra, and there's something special about sin, cos, and tan. They're transcendental, which means you can't use them using traditional algebra. So you have to use something known as calculus. Now, calculus is just infinite algebra, but there's a problem. We don't have infinite storage, and we don't have infinite ALU power. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take this infinite polynomial and cut it off at one point. And we're basically going to get as close as we can to the actual function while keeping our computer's storage. And we have this variable called n, and the higher the number n gets, the closer it will get to the function. Now, it will never reach the function. It will only approach the function because it can't actually reach it. It can only get very, very, very close. So what I have right here is the Taylor series, and this is how we're going to actually calculate sin of x and all of that crap. So as I increase the value of n, you see it gets closer and closer to sin of x. N is 11 right now. I would have to make n very, very big to get all the way out to these numbers down over here. But as you see, this repeats. What I'm going to do is when you input the number 8, it's going to be like if you inputted the number 2 or whatever it's equal to. Basically, just like modular arithmetic, we're going to have numbers that are congruent or basically equal to each other, where if you input the number 8, it would be the same thing as inputting 2. So for the computer, I'm probably going to have n be a little bit less or more than 11. I'm not sure yet. Also, calculus nerds in comment, please tell me if I have to add the constant of integration. I know the derivative of constant is plus 0, and plus 0 is a constant, so its derivative should be plus 0, but I'm not entirely sure, so please tell me. As you could guess, I haven't taken calculus yet because I'm just not old enough. But now that that is all done, I can actually get to building the computer.
Okay, what's the first step, Mr. Greek Gaming Goat?
We're gonna make a lot of string dubers right here, just up against this wall.
Why do we need so many string dupers?
Because we need thousands of blocks of wool. The material list is in there. Alright, guys, we're building a massive backboard here.
Speaking of wood.
Please stop.
Guys, this server is canonically set in the 17th century, bro. There's no child labor laws yet.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, canonically, it's we're in 1700s England. There's no child labor. Dude, the local knife fight went wild last night. Have you seen that?
Yeah, bro, it's actually kind of fun living in a British hood.
Bro, what?
You can hear little like swords.
It's actually kind of
you can hear little like swords.
Bro did not just say that. So we grinded materials and made a massive array of chests full of all the materials we need to build the ALU. Then I built it, and I thought it'd be really cool if I put it in a massive replay shop, and then my replay file, along with all my other replays, got completely deleted. Thanks, replay pile. I really appreciate that. And also, before I do anything else, I should mention what I'm triangulating. So someone sent a screenshot of a bunch of waypoints, and of course, I thought it'd be really funny if I used the waypoints to triangulate his base in Minecraft. Now, basically, I'm gonna make a massive triangle and use trigonometry to basically find his base. Now, it's pretty simple math, and since building the ALU took so long, I decided to give up building the other parts and just put the calculations directly in the ALU. But I put it on a book and quill, so it's in Minecraft still. But I found their base, and I got all my teammates online to reveal the base coordinates, and then we're gonna go there and do a bit of malarkey.
Bro. Very familiar.
Yeah,
what? Is it a ring?
It's the chunk border, right over there. It's the chunk border we have to, and they just left the entrance open.
No.
Crouch, what are you doing? Bro! Bro, did not just jump down.
Get him!
Hi guys.
Why is there so much dogs?
Get him with the trap! Get him with the trap!
Bro,
get him!
What is happening?
What a true sportsman, guys. What a sportsman, am I right?
You owe me one, but it's fine.
Tom, are you offhanding Bo?
No, I'm offhanding a shield.
Okay, well.
Why do you have so
I know that's you. Guys, who's who? Fight! That's you, Goat, with the bow and totem.
Yeah, I need more cart.
Literally just crit him out.
Bro,
don't worry, guys, I'll save you.
By accident.
Yo, what is that knockback?
There you go.
Knockback 2. You heard of it yet? Haha!
Please, I want to get out the lava pit, please.
This is Invis. He's over here. He's over here. I got him, dude. I got him.
Like that loot here.
No. Oh. You must die now. I'm going to finish this once and for all, guys. It ends today.
Dude, I freaking Alpha, he popped a notch.
Touch you back here right now.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah! Alpha, what are you doing?
I tried killing the other one.
I'm just gonna try and get you.
Dude, what is this?
Let's get him. Am I right, guys? You think you're slick, but I'm actually.
Stop, bro.
Oh, Paul, how many hearts?
He actually thinks he's him.
Come here. This isn't over. Magical power to end this.
Please let me live.
I'm going to have to cast my magical power.
Shut up. But after all, I completed my goal. Wasting my time playing a virtual block game.